Today, I gave every team in the NFL a random legend running back. And to do this, I first gave each team the best running backs they've ever had, creating a total of 64 legends that I released into free agency ready to sign with any team. Like literally, no team has a running back on their roster, so they're forced to sign these guys. And I intentionally chose to create 64 players, so each team could get a starter and a backup. And with everything in this franchise set to auto, we can sim all the way to the playoffs. But first, as an added bonus for this video, I bumped all the running back related sliders to the max, and even changed every team's playbook and scheme to be running focused, which if I'm being honest, I genuinely do not know if that actually makes a difference in the sim, but I do know how we can find out. Starting in the AFC East, where the Bills won the division going 12-5, with the Jets also making the playoffs at 11-6. Oh my god. Yeah, I can confirm the settings I did made a difference, because the Jets signed LaDainian Tomlinson, who actually was a Jet in real life at the end of his career. You know, the last time the Jets were good, in 2011. And he led the division with 2,600 yards and had 30 touchdowns, which tops the single season touchdown record that he holds in real life. The Bills got one of the best running backs of all time with Barry Sanders, who had a great year for them with 1,900 yards and 20 touchdowns. Dolphins got a killer backfield with O.J. Simpson, who got 1,614, and the Patriots got Priest Holmes, who had 1,615. The Jets also signed Le'Veon Bell, who had 725 and 13. Tiki Barber on the Patriots added 608. Amon Green and the Bills had the same stats, and so did Arian Foster backing up OJ. In the AFC North, the Ravens got the 1 seed, with the Bengals also making it in at 12-5. Oh my god, I thought LT had an insane year, but Bo Jackson on the Ravens had 2,962 yards and 33 touchdowns. That's just insane. The Steelers signed Franco Harris, who they obviously had in real life, and he had 1,800 yards and 15 touchdowns. The bust Jerome Bettis on the Bengals, say that 5 times fast, had 1,720. And Brian Westbrook on the Browns, another tongue twister, had 1,215. But wow, as a backup, Eddie George had 870 and 17. A prime version of Alvin Kamara had 560 and 7. Prime Zeke only managed 239 and 6. And Corey Dillon only managed 170 and 6. Insane, the Ravens had 59 rushing touchdowns this year. In the South, the Colts and Jaguars made the playoffs. Larry Zonka led the division with 1,722. Saquon, now on the Colts, had 1,719. Jim Brown on the Texans had 1,716. And David Johnson on the Titans had 1,724. As a backup, Packers legend Jim Taylor had 810. Sean Alexander had 609. And Roger Craig had 533 and 7. And lastly, in the AFC West, the Chargers were the only team to make the playoffs. And this division had 3 running backs go over 2,000 yards. Ironically, CJ2K was the only guy who didn't. And as a backup on the Raiders, Nick Chubb also got 19 touchdowns with almost 1,000 yards. But let's see how it looks in the NFC. Starting in the East, where the Eagles were the only team to make the playoffs. And wow, Marshall Faulk had 2,000 yards and 29 touchdowns for him. Terrell Davis, now on the Commanders, had almost 1,920. Walter Payton, now on the Cowboys, had 1,720 as well. And Maurice Jones-Drew on the Giants had 1,412 touchdowns. CMC as a backup on the Eagles at 508. Michael Turner had 330 and 10. Jamal Lewis had 274 and 4. And Frank Gore had 229 and 6. But moving to the NFC North, the Packers grabbed the 1 seed going 15 and 2, with the Bears also making the playoffs going 11 and 6. Okay, well maybe that makes sense because they picked up Thurman Thomas, who finished the year for him with 2,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. But Adrian Peterson ended up getting signed by the Packers of all teams, and he led the division with 2,700 yards and led in touchdowns with 26. Gale Sayers, now on the Vikings, had 1,818, and Eric Dickerson on the Lions had 1,816. As a backup on the Bears, Jonathan Stewart had 615, James Wilder on the Lions had 840 and 14, Edgerrin James on the Packers had 410, and Otis Anderson on the Vikings had 506. In the South, the Panthers and Falcons both made the playoffs. Ricky Williams on the Falcons led the division in yards with 1,700 and had 18 touchdowns. Shady McCoy on the Panthers was right behind him with 1,700 as well. Marshawn Lynch went beast mode on the Saints, putting up 1,650 and 20 touchdowns. And Marcus Allen on the Bucks had 1,615. The Broncos legend Floyd Little had 850 and 13 as a backup on the Saints. Clinton Portis had 784 and 14 on the Bucks. And D'Angelo Williams back on the Panthers had 732 and 12. And last up in the NFC West, the Niners and Rams both made the playoffs. The Rams actually went with Derrick Henry as their lead back, and he finished with 2,000 yards exactly. Emmitt Smith on the 49ers just feels wrong, but he finished the year just under 2,000 yards with 15 touchdowns. Earl Campbell on the Seahawks had 1,919. And wow, the Cardinals signed Tony Dorsett and Mark Ingram, and Dorsett finished with 1,314, but Ingram also had 1,121. That's crazy numbers for one backfield. But in total, we had 9 running backs go over 2,000 yards. I don't understand why the game's putting Adrian Peterson down here, and I think I know who won MVP. Yeah, there was no way it was not going to be Bo Jackson. Like, he literally put up record-setting numbers. So now, this is going to be our playoff bracket for this season. So in the wildcard round, we'll start with the Jets versus Colts. Which reminds me, you should definitely go pick up the Indiana Jones shirt I just released to my shop. Like, I love the designs of everything I've made, but this might be my best yet. But late in this game, his Colts are down 6-0. Crazy how low scoring this game is here, but he's gonna throw and not pick up a first, which makes it 3rd down. I mean, there's a minute and a half. He's gonna get sacked by Quinnen. So now it's 4th down. They have to just hurry up. I mean, they have timeouts they could have used, but he's throwing deep. Is it gonna be caught? It is caught by Michael Pittman all the way down to the 2. Indy Jones does it again, but he gets sacked. And they call timeout, so they're at the 7 with 50 seconds, and Barkley takes it in to take the 1-point lead late in this game. So now Fields and the Jets have 45 seconds and 3 timeouts, and they only need a field goal, and Fields is gonna run. Got him to the 39, and they called timeout. Handoff to LT, who's got a huge burst of speed. Now they're at the 38 with 30 seconds. They're gonna throw to Lazard, who's gonna get all the way inside the 20. So now to win the game as time expires, Folk's gonna put up the very makeable kick, and he nails it, so the Jets move on. We really have gone back to the 2010 Jets. Next up, we got the Panthers down by 4 against the Bears. And they were driving the ball downfield until Bryce Young threw a pick to Jalen Johnson, which sealed the win for the Bears. Next, the Bills are up by 7 against the Jags late in this game, but Josh Allen hits Barry Sanders on a screen pass, who takes it all the way in for the touchdown, giving them the 28-14 win. Next, the 49ers blew out the Falcons. So last up for the AFC, we got the Bengals versus Chargers. But the Chargers are getting smoked down by 14, and it's 4th down. Herbert throws, and Mercury Morris makes the diving grab, but it's onside kicker nothing here, and they don't get it. So the Bengals are gonna move on, and we'll finish up the wild card round with the Rams versus Eagles. Eagles are up by 2 with 3 minutes to go in this game, and Hurts checks down to McCaffrey, who takes it in for the touchdown. The Rams have worked it to the 30, but they have no timeouts. He's gonna check down here to Henry, which picks up a first, but I really don't know if they have a chance with the score being what it is. First things first though, they need the touchdown. They're at the 14, thought he was gonna get sacked, and he's got Devontae for the touchdown, but they're down by 2, so they need the onside kick, but the Eagles are gonna recover it. So they'll hold on to win this game, which brings us into the divisional round. We'll start with the Jets versus Ravens. And with 2 minutes to go, the Ravens are down by 1, but they got the ball, and it's picked by Jermaine Johnson. He is an edge rusher. Like, why was he dropping in coverage? But Lamar just threw it right to him. The Ravens had a chance. They only needed a field goal, but Lamar kind of choked, and the Jets are going to pick up a first. I get the Ravens have timeouts, but they should definitely just be running the ball here. Wait a second, did I see that right? LT has 160 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, but the MVP, Bo Jackson's done nothing. But now it's 3rd down, and the Ravens need a stop because they only have 1 timeout. Fields is going to take off, and he's got the first down. So now the Jets can kneel it out to win this game by 1 point. Lamar is not escaping the choke allegations on this one. So next up, the Niners are down by 7 against the Eagles. They got the ball at the 14 with 2 minutes to go, and Purdy's getting sacked. And they didn't call a timeout, even though that backed them up to the 20. And he's got Kittle, who's going to get down to the 1. I thought he got in, but they got to use Emmitt Smith here. Well, they tried, so I can't really fault him, but he's got Ayuk wide open for the touchdown instead to tie this game up. Eagles got 3 timeouts, so I really hope they don't play conservative. And they are running hurry up, so hopefully they're going to try to push the ball downfield. Ooh, he breaks a tackle and gonna get all the way past the 50. He's still going. What are they doing? They can't tackle him. He took it all the way up to the 37, and they're gonna use Falk here to get another first down. So it's a 39-yard kick to win the game as time expires, and he nails it, so the Eagles advance. So next, we got the Bills up by 3 against the Bengals. And they've got the ball at the 45 with about 2.5 minutes to go, and Amon Green's got a ton of space. So the Bills have burned the Bengals timeouts, and they're at the 16. Allen's gonna get another first down here, which guarantees guarantees them the win and sends them to the AFC Championship. And last for this round, we got the Bears versus Packers. Packers got the ball at the 23. He's gonna throw to Adrian Peterson, who's wide open. That was the freest touchdown for them. And on the ensuing drive, the Bears easily worked it downfield, and Caleb Williams hit Jonathan Stewart for a touchdown to take the lead with under a minute to go. Now the Packers have 45 seconds and 3 timeouts. I don't know why they always run it in these situations. But now they're up to the 50. There's about 40 seconds to go. Love's gonna throw deep. Who's he going to here? He's got him wide open. First off, that was a dime by Love, but Edgerrin James burned his man. So the Packers are gonna win this game and advance. So in the AFC Championship, we got the Jets versus Bills, and it is really snowing in Buffalo. So we'll see what difference this makes for the game. And we're tied at 17 late in this game. Well, I forgot you literally can't see anything from this camera angle. Like, I think Josh Allen's gonna get a first, but I genuinely couldn't tell you. And unfortunately, you can't change off the broadcast angle, but Allen's gonna run again, and I can barely tell that he got it first. And the Bills ran the clock down to 3 seconds to attempt the kick, and he does actually hit it to send him to the Super Bowl. I genuinely had no idea if he made it, but I literally couldn't see anything going on during this game. But will they face the Eagles or Packers? Thank God it's not snowing. And late in this game, we're tied at 14, but the Packers got the ball at their own 44 to hand off to Peterson, who's gonna take him past the 50. Actually got stuffed at the 50. They're throwing on second down, and it's picked. I don't know who that is on the Eagles. That was crazy. The Packers only needed a field goal, but they were throwing. And Nakobe Dean made a great interception. And there's 45 seconds. Both teams have 1 timeout, but they're still throwing the ball. And I thought getting out of bounds, but he's inside the 10. So the Packers used their last timeout, so they have no way to stop it now. So now the Eagles have another chip shot field goal to win the game, to send them to the Super Bowl against the Bills. So we're gonna get Marshall Faulk going up against Barry Sanders. But the Eagles got on the board first with a Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown. But on their first drive, Josh Allen drove the Bills downfield to tie the game up in the same way. And now it's right before halftime. We're still tied at 7, and the Bills got the ball at the 4. And now it's third down after that incompletion. He throws to Sanders, who's gonna get the touchdown. Thank you for involving the running back in the running back video. And I'm playing the moment, so we're late in the third, and the Bills got the ball again. And they're picking up another touchdown, this time to Amon Green. But now in the fourth, the Bills are up by 10. The Eagles have started to make a comeback, but they're gonna need to stop them here. A first down there would have fully put this game away, but they do get the field goal. As the Eagles are down by 13 with 20 seconds, and they're checking the ball down, giving them the 27-14 win over the Eagles. It only took adding Barry Sanders to win their first ever. If you want to watch more, I got a few videos floating on screen for you right now. I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.